can come in. Okay, so let's properly start this. Sorry for that. Okay, start. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our short meeting about. And we're gonna explain to you our study or the results and discussions of our study. Awareness on the effects of vaping on the physical health of grade 12 senior high school students of the University of Baguio. This study investigates the awareness of grade 12 senior high school students at the University of Baguio regarding the physical health effects of vaping, specifically focusing on oral and respiratory health. It also explores the prevalence of vaping among students and examines whether awareness levels differ between academic and non-academic strands. The findings aim to provide data that can support targeted health education programs and inform school policies to prevent vaping-related health issues among adolescents. And for the objectives of this study, our general objectives is to determine awareness on the effects of vaping on the physical health of grade 12 senior high school students of the University of Baguio. For specific objective number one, our specific objective number one is to determine the prevalence of vaping among grade 12 senior high school students of the University of Baguio. To measure our specific objectives, we use different tools and methods aligned with each one. For objective number one, we measured prevalence by asking students behavioral frequency questions, like whether they vape and how often. This gives us clear picture of how common vaping is among grade 12 students. For objective number two, is to identify the level of awareness on the effects of vaping on the physical health of grade 12 senior high school students of the University of Baguio, according to academic and non-academic strands, which focuses on awareness. We use a 4-point Likert scale questionnaire. Students rated how much they agreed with statements related to the effects of vaping on oral and respiratory health. Their responses helped us determine their level of awareness, with higher scores indicating higher awareness. And lastly, for specific objective 2.1, is there a significant difference in the level of awareness on the effects of vaping on the physical health of grade 12 senior high school students at of University of Baguio, according to academic and non-academic strands? We wanted to know if there was a significant difference in awareness between academic and non-academic strands. Since our data wasn't normally distributed, we used a man-written review test, a non-parametric statistical test to compare the scores and see if the difference were meaningful. To address, 2 point, to address objective 2.1, we wanted to find out if there's a significant difference in awareness of, of the physical health effects of vaping between students in academic and non-academic strands. And for the research gap, this will be explained by my co-researcher Roque Peralta.
Our research fills a critical gap in existing literature. Most studies about vaping focuses on college students or adults and many come from international contexts. Locally, there's very limited data that looks how a high school student, especially in Baguio, understand the physical health effects of vaping, particularly on oral and respiratory health. What makes this even more important is that senior high school students are at a vulnerable stage where exposure to peer influence and health risk is high. Plus, no studies so far have examined the difference in awareness between academic and non-academic strand, which is important for designing customized awareness campaigns. By exploring this specific group and context, our study provides evidence-based insights that can help educators parents, and policymakers implement better health education and intervention strategies.
Hello guys, my name is Cassandra Santiago, and for objective 1, we aim to determine how prevalent vaping is among grade 12 students at the University of Baguio. Based on responses from 279 students, we found out 84.2% reported they do not vape, while 15.8% say they do vape. This tells us that while vaping is present, is not highly common among students. However, the 15.8% who vape is still a significant percentage, particularly for senior high school students. Our findings closely resemble those of the country. The 2019 Global Youth Tobacco Survey found that 14.1% of Filipino students between the age of 13 and 15 currently using e-cigarettes. This implies that our results point to a genuine and expanding problem. Strict school regulation and parental monitoring and restricted access to vape products, especially for those under the age of 18, may have contributed to the very low prevalence in our study.
To achieve the second objective, our study measured the awareness of the physical health effects of vaping, specifically its impact on oral and respiratory health among academic and non-academic strand students. The results showed that non-academic strand students had a slightly higher mean score of 2.73 in terms of awareness of vaping's effect on oral health, compared to 2.66 for academic strand students. Interestingly, the standard deviation for academic students was higher at 0.698, indicating more varied responses within that group. This suggests that while non academic students had slightly greater and more consistent awareness, academic students' awareness may differ based on factors like curriculum or how individual teachers emphasize health topics. Overall, both strands demonstrated moderate awareness, which supports the findings of Al Hamdan et al., who noted that students' awareness can depend on their exposure to health education.
And the results and discussion for objective number 3. To address objective 2.1, we wanted to find out if there's a significant difference in awareness of the physical health effects of vaping between students in academic and non-academic strands. Because our data didn't meet the assumptions of normality, we used the man-written test, which is a non-parametric alternative for comparing two independent groups. For oral health awareness, the results showed no statistically significant difference between the two strands, with a p-value greater than 0.05, while the non-academic group had a slightly higher mean score. The effect size was extremely small, meaning the difference isn't practically meaningful. Similarly, for respiratory health awareness, the man-Whitney test also found no significant difference, and again, the effect size was very small. In short, these findings suggest that strand affiliation doesn't significantly influence awareness levels. One possible explanation is that students, regardless of strand, have similar access to external information like social media, public health campaigns, and peer conversations, which may contribute to the shared level of awareness outside the classroom.
Our study focused on assessing the prevalence of vaping among grade 12 senior high school students at the University of Baguio and evaluating their awareness of its physical health effects, particularly on oral and respiratory health. The results showed that 15.8% of the respondents reported that they vape, meaning vaping exists among students but isn't highly prevalent, while awareness of health risk is moderate across both academic and non-academic strands. Although there were small differences, no significant gap in awareness was found between the groups. In conclusion, students generally understand the health risk of vaping, but the level of awareness needs improvement regardless of academic background.
And that will be it for our final manuscript. Thank you very much for listening. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry for my dog. Kindly, kindly raise your hand if you have any concerns or any reactions about our presentation. Yeah. And later at 7 p.m., we will be sending you guys the forms for you to answer for us to help, and for us to finish the requirements needed for our working mission. Thank you very much, and you may now leave. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you, mga
Bye-bye!
Thank
Minasur.
you.